You plan everything your career, your finances, your travel. You are exceptional at executing on goals. But when it comes to love, if you're honest, you've mostly been hoping, showing up when the mood strikes, downloading apps, and then deleting them. And this summer, I want to give you something different, an actual plan. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what that plan looks like, where to actually meet someone, and I'm not just talking about Hinge, what to wear, and why that matters more than you think, and how to approach the whole thing differently so that this season doesn't look like last season. If you're a high achieving woman who is serious about building a love life that matches the rest of your life, stay with me. Before we get into the logistics, and we will, I need to talk about mindset. Because the plan I'm about to give you only works if you bring the right mindset to it. Here's what I see happen to high achieving women every single time they decide to get serious about dating. Week one, they're all in, they download the apps, they go to the event, they're excited. Week two, a few disappointing dates. Week three, they're exhausted, they've decided it's hopeless, and they're back on the couch wondering why they bothered. Sound familiar? Here's what they did wrong. They were showing up to every interaction with a silent question running in the background. Is this it? Is he the one? Is this working? And when the answer kept coming back, not yet, they felt defeated and not long after, completely burnt out. Here's a reframe I want you to carry into the summer. You are not going on dates to find your person. You're going on dates to have a good time. That's it. That's the whole mindset shift. Look for the joy in it, the interesting conversation you didn't expect, the restaurant you've never tried, the version of yourself that shows up when you're curious and a little dressed up and out in the world. That's worth something, regardless of whether he calls you back. And here's the thing about presence, it's not just better for you, it's magnetic. A woman who is genuinely enjoying herself is the most attractive person in any room. Not because she's performing, because she's actually there. So, the plan we're about to build, think of it as your structure, and presence is what you bring to it. The structure keeps you consistent, the presence keeps you sane, and keeps you in the game long enough for something real to actually find you. Okay, so where are you actually going to meet someone? Let's go through this properly. Apps first, because yes, we're talking about apps, but I want to reframe how you're using them. If dating apps are your entire strategy, that's the first thing to change. Apps are one tool, they're not the whole plan. Here's how to use them well. Hint is the app I recommend most for women who are serious. It's built around prompts that show personality, which means if your profile is strong, you stand out immediately. I'll come back to profiles in a minute. Bumble works if you want control of the first message, which for a lot of high achieving women actually feels more comfortable. Match.com skews slightly older and more relationship focused, which can work in your favor depending on where you are in life. But here's the rule: 20 minutes a day maximum. Set a timer. The scroll creates the feeling of doing something without actually building anything. Now, in person, and this is where I want your full attention. One, singles events. I know the word makes some of you wince, but in person connection builds chemistry faster than any algorithm can. Go to meetup.com and filter for your age group. Speed dating events are also worth trying, not because they're inherently romantic, but because they're excellent practice. More on that in a moment. Two, travel. This is the most underrated one. Solo travel or travel with a friend puts you in a completely different energy. You're curious, open, out of your routine. People who are traveling are, by definition, people who go places. They're also more likely to be open to connection. A trip doesn't have to be about meeting someone, but it can absolutely be where it happens. Three, alumni events. This is the most underused channel I know. Your college alumni network is full of men who share your educational background, your ambition, and often your values. Check your university's local chapter website. LinkedIn has an alumni filter that lets you search by location. These events happen and they're worth showing up to. Four, your professional world. Conferences, industry mixers, professional development events. I'm not telling you to date your direct report. I'm telling you that people who share your professional world often share your drive, and that's a green flag, not a conflict of interest. Five, and this is the one most of my clients resist the most: blast your friends. Specifically, send 3 texts this week to people in your life who know you well. Ask them to set you up. The text is simple. I'm serious about dating this summer. Do you know anyone you'd want to introduce me to? That's it. 3 people this week. The resistance is usually embarrassment. I don't want people to know I'm looking. Here's the reframe: the people who love you already know, and they've probably been waiting for you to ask. Now, let's talk about the how. First, your profile. If you are on any dating app and your profile says something like, I love to travel, laugh, and spend time with the people I love, I say this with full respect. You need to rewrite it. That profile describes everyone, it differentiates no one. Your profile should make the right man think, she gets me. It should be specific, a little surprising, honest. The goal isn't to appeal to everyone. The goal is to be immediately recognizable to the right person. I'll come back to how I can help with that at the end of this video. But whether you use me or not, go through your profile right now and ask, does this sound like me specifically? Or does it sound like a resume? Second, the one activity commitment. This is non negotiable. Every week this summer, engage in one activity where you could meet someone new. Just one. It can be a singles event, it can be a class, it can be a friend's dinner party. It counts as long as you're in a room with new people showing up as yourself. Calendar it right now, not I'll try, a blocked hour or two every week. This is the difference between intending to date this summer and actually dating this summer. Third, getting better at the actual dates. This is where most of the real work happens, and it's the part we don't talk about enough. The apps are just introductions. Dating is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with practice. Here's what I tell my clients: the goal of a first date is not to find your person. The goal of a first date is to be interesting and interested. That's it. Ask real questions. Share real things about yourself, not your accomplishments, your actual self. And when you leave, ask, was I present? Not, is he the one? When you treat every date as practice, a few things happen. The pressure drops, you actually enjoy it more, and paradoxically, you become more attractive. Because a woman who is relaxed and genuinely curious is irresistible every time. What's the common denominator in every date that didn't go anywhere? Usually it's this: you were both auditioning instead of connecting. Stop auditioning, start connecting. A quick word on outfits, and this is one where I want to push back on the advice you've probably heard before. Wear something he'll like. Wrong advice. What he likes is entirely subjective. There is no formula. Some men love a dress, some men love jeans. You cannot optimize for his taste, and trying to is a fast track to showing up as someone you're not. Here's the only question that matters: what makes you feel hot? Not powerful, not put together, hot, attractive, like yourself, but turned up a little. Because here's what isn't subjective: energy. Every man, everywhere, responds to a woman who feels genuinely good about how she looks. That confidence, that comfort, that ease, he feels it within 30 seconds of sitting down across from you. You don't have to say a word. So wear your best color. Wear the thing that you feel good moving in. Wear something you don't have to think about once you're in it. And if you want a full checklist, outfits, questions to ask on a date, all of it, I put together a free guide called the Ultimate Dating Guide. It's practical, it's easy to use, and it covers everything we're talking about today in a checklist form so you can actually use it. Link is in the description. Before I close, I want to tell you about 2 things I offer that are specifically designed for exactly this. The first is my profile writing service. We get on a call, I get to know you, the real you, not the LinkedIn version. And together we craft a dating profile that actually sounds like you, one that stops the scroll for the right man. The link is below. The second is my course. If what we've talked about today resonates, the mindset shift, the strategy, the patterns, and you want a real guide through the full journey, not just a checklist, but a transformation, that's what the course is. It walks you through who you're being when you show up, not just where you're going. That link is also below. Both of these are investments in your love life, which, if you're anything like the women I work with, is probably the one area where you've been underinvesting compared to everything else. Let's change that this summer. Summer is a real window. The energy is different. People are more open. You have a little more breathing room, and that matters. but a window only works if you actually walk through it. So here's what I want you to do before you close this video. Pick one thing from today, just one. The text to a friend, the alumni event lookup, the profile audit, the calendar block, one thing. And then tell me in the comments, what's the one thing you're committing to this summer to actually fly into love? I read every single comment. If this resonated, subscribe. New videos every week for women who want a love life that matches their ambition.